Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, today inshallah we're going to continue our new topic, another two factors which affecting children's behavior. We already discussed the first one, the first and the second one affecting children's behavior. The first one is children's environmental aspect could lead to children's behave in such a way, and number two related to children's physical development. Also another factors that can make children to behave in such way due to their development of physical. Children who are matured, who already reach a maturity on their development of physical, would have a tendency to behave or to have more active activities and action compared to children who are less developed. So previous if you refer to the manual, it shows that two different picture. The first one is children who are normally developed, and secondly is children who are retarded. So it means children who have problems on their physical development. So definitely if you compare with these to normal and retarded children, so retarded children will have less potential on negative behavior such as kicking or bullying other children. Alright, for today we're going to discuss another three factors which affecting children's behavior, which is children's socio-emotional development. Number 4, children's cognitive and language development. And the last one is children's ages and stages of development. So these are the three more factors that we're going to discuss today. Alright, if we look at the second factors, the third factors, children's emotional development could lead to children's behavior. So how children's social emotional development would be able to contribute on children's behavior. Alright, let us read together and look together at this paragraph. Lack of love, care and acceptance, kekurangan kasih sayang dan juga penerimaan, constant mental stress, stres secara mental yang berterusan, ineffective family, mempunyai keluarga yang tidak efektif, which include parenting style, conflict communication, divorce, siblings, rivalry, step parents. Ini contoh-contoh ineffective families can lead to children's emotional stress and misbehavior. Faktor-faktor seperti stres yang berterusan, keluarga yang tidak efektif, disebabkan oleh perceraian atau masalah komunikasi, masalah adik-beradik, alright, gaya parenting dan juga mempunyai keluarga angkat yang tidak baik akan menyumbang kepada emotional stress and misbehavior. So, children with poor self-esteem and lack of confidence may show more problematic behaviors, and this happens when the child is being pampered and too much dependent on adult supervision, right? So kebiasaannya, children with a poor self-esteem, children who have a low self-belief, they always look negative at themselves, or children who have a very low confidence, normally they will show more problematic behavior. Kajian menunjukkan kanak-kanak yang mempunyai masalah jati diri yang rendah, melihat diri dengan penuh kekurangan, kebiasaannya, bukan 100% ya, kebiasaannya akan menunjukkan ciri-ciri tingkah laku yang bermasalah. And this happen when the child is being pampered too much and too dependent on adult supervision. So dia juga selalu berlaku kepada kanak-kanak yang terlalu dimanjakan, alright, yang memerlukan, yang kurang berdikari, yang sentiasa dependent on adult supervision. Dependent on adult supervision means they are not being independent, which they're supposed to be. For example, in each aspect, parents will take over. They are independent, their behavior of independent, and parents willing to do all those things on behalf of the children. So by doing this, too much supervision or too much dependence or too much pampered could lead to problematic behavior. So actually their maturity are ready to be independent. They're able to do things by themselves. But because of we interfere, parents, we interfere that process. We're stopping them from being able to be independent, do things by themselves. So at the end, because of that, they are relying too much to us. They couldn't make their own decision wisely. They couldn't be independent, and they become conflict within themselves. They have a difficulties in making decision. So that are the factors could lead to problematic behavior. And then look at the second last of the paragraph there. Lack of confidence, of emotional support. Lack of emotional support from family may lead to excessive fear or phobia and anxiety. Okay, if parents fail to give emotional support, so the consequences could be children will have excessive fears, not a normal fear, but excessive fear. Kanak-kanak akan menjadi seorang yang unnecessary fear, penakut. Buat ini takut, buat itu takut due to lack of emotional support. Selalu dimarah, selalu diancam, selalu di-threaten by the parents. And then number 2, it can be phobia. Kurangnya sokongan emosi boleh membawa kepada sifat ataupun ciri-ciri fobia kepada kanak-kanak. Dan yang ketiga, anxieties. Alright? So all this is factors that make children become problematic on their behavior later on due to socio-emotional development. So means they are lacking on support on their emotions as well as on their social needs. So how to solve the problems? Parents need to give support in terms of social, in terms of emotion stability, happiness. Do not threaten them. Okay, support them. Be on their side while they need you. Become an effective family. Alright? So rather than we have a conflict communication, become effective communication. Provide a condition, situation that they feel comfortable and happy to discuss any issues with parents. Okay? So that is the factors number 3. Okay, next we move to the next factors. The next factors, look at number 4, is children's cognitive and language development. Another factors could lead to problematic behavior later on the children is due to children's cognitive and language development. So how? Children's cognitive, how could language development could lead to problematic behaviors? Okay, let us read together. Child's way of thinking and processing information around him or her affect the way she or he behave. Cara kanak-kanak berfikir, cara kanak-kanak memproses maklumat, ataupun cara kanak-kanak berfikir ataupun menganalisa tentang apa yang berlaku di sekeliling mereka akan memberi kesan kepada tingkah laku kanak-kanak. Poor language skills to express feelings and emotion, learning difficulties can cause emotional stress in children which make them behave negatively. Kalau kanak-kanak ada masalah bahasa, tidak mampu untuk meluahkan perasaan dengan betul, itu juga akan memberi kesan kepada emosi kanak-kanak. Kenapa? Apabila kanak-kanak merasa marah, dia tak mampu nak ekspreskan perasaan marah. At the end, people couldn't get their feelings of anger. At the end, people or friends will keep do things which they are not happy. At the end, the stress situation is unbearable, cannot be handled anymore. At the end, it's going to lead to problematic behavior. Other factor is when the children feel bored because their mind and thought are not active, and this can lead to problematic behavior which is caused by poor stimulation and constant failure. Faktor lain juga adalah apabila kanak-kanak merasa bosan, merasa boring, okay, disebabkan oleh mereka mempunyai masa yang lapang dan tidak diisi, tidak aktif. Kanak-kanak juga boleh menyebabkan mereka melakukan tingkah laku yang tidak menyenangkan. Alright? Fikiran kanak-kanak tidak dirangsang. Tenaga kanak-kanak tidak disalurkan dengan betul. Apabila mempunyai lompong maksudnya there are situations children feel bored. They don't have any idea. They don't have activities. So at the end, they got a idea to make a problems. They have an idea to disturb their friends. They have an idea to damage things. So, in order to solve that is, we need to provide an activities while they are in a bored situation. Example here, parents' negative attitude. Okay, look at the second last paragraph. Parents' negative attitudes towards neighbor may affect their children's cognition, which later or makes the children learn antisocial behavior. For example, yang ada masalah dengan jiran ni parents. Mak ada masalah dengan jiran sebelah rumah. Contoh. Okay. Jadi, mak tidak berbual ataupun cuba mengelak untuk berkomunikasi, cuba mengelak untuk berjumpa, cuba mengelak untuk ternampak jiran sebelah rumah. Anak memerhatikan. So what happened? They learn this from parents. Dia memerhati, memahami bahawa parents tidak bertegur sapa dengan jiran disebabkan jiran membuat masalah. At the end, they develop with this belief, do not make communication or interaction with neighbor because neighbor will make problems. So bila dia besar, dia pun akan ikut contoh apa yang diperhatikan pada parents masa dia kecil. At the end, will lead this behavior become anti-social behavior. Whereby tak semestinya apa yang berlaku pada parents dia akan berlaku pada dia suatu hari nanti. Alright? So, that's why we need to behave as a parents wisely while we are in front of our children or while children are observing our behavior. So, basically, in these factors number 4, children's cognition means the way children process the information. What children understand need to be corrected by the parents in the right way. Do not let or leave the children with their wrong understanding of the observation of what happening around them. Apa sahaja yang diperhatikan, dilihat oleh kanak-kanak di sekeliling mereka, pastikan pemikiran mereka betul. Pastikan apa yang difaham betul. So how to do that? We need to communicate. We need to correct the understanding of the children. And secondly, dua poin yang kedua dalam effect number 4 ni adalah language development. Kegagalan untuk mengekspresikan perasaan dengan bahasa yang betul, that also could lead to problematic behavior later on. So that is point number 4. Okay, let us look at the last point. Factors which can affect children's behavior. Right? Point number 5 is children's environmental aspect. So, point number 5, trying to say that environment would also lead to problematic behavior. How this could happen? So, lack of play opportunities, lack of space, too much noise, no opportunity for quiet play and privacy also could lead to problematic behavior. So, this thing sometimes we are overlooked. Kita tak perasan. Dengan hanya kekurangan ruang yang sempit boleh menjadikan kanak-kanak misbehavior. Keadaan kelas yang terlalu bising boleh menyumbang kepada kanak-kanak misbehavior. Alright? Tak ada peluang untuk mereka bermain pun boleh menyumbang kepada misbehavior. So, environment aspect, surroundings, if we doesn't take care of this situation for children at early age, to ensure the space, to ensure the setting, to ensure the opportunity for playing, to ensure that the class is not too noisy. Actually, we are helping children to become better on their behavior. Okay, next point. These relate to layout of the class setting or classroom. For example, by providing special areas for different activities, example, quiet play area, group play, and etc., can give ample opportunities to the child to express their emotions and feelings. See? The impact of spacing, the impact of layout. Apa tu layout? Susun atur bilik darjah. Salah susun boleh membawa kepada perilaku yang bermasalah. Susun atur yang cantik, yang kreatif, yang menarik boleh menyumbang kepada behavior children yang baik, yang bagus. Okay, we move to the next point. Children who are exposed to restricted environment may feel restless, uncomfortable. Most probably, they may get aggressive to others. inability to concentrate in class due to lack of space and comfort. Comfort and conducive environment help children to explore and learn effectively. Keadaan kelas yang selesa, comfort, yang kondusif akan membantu kanak-kanak untuk belajar dengan lebih berkesan, lebih efektif, menjadikan kanak-kanak lebih explore, menjadikan kanak lebih kreatif, jadi kanak-kanak lebih fokus. Kedudukan suasana dalam kelas yang kelang kabut, yang kotor, yang tidak terurus boleh menyumbang kepada perilaku kanak-kanak yang tidak baik, yang bermasalah. Conducive also give children positive feelings. Keadaan yang kondusif boleh memberi perasaan yang positif, a good feelings, and emotion that will contribute to positive behavior. Suasana, susun atur, layout, bilik darjah, kelas, dewan, suasana sekolah persekitaran akan menyumbang kepada perasaan seronok dan positif. Dan perasaan yang seronok dan positif will lead to positive behavior. Akan menyumbang kepada tingkah laku yang positif, tingkah laku yang baik. So, this is the point number 5. How environment could contribute to a good behavior. If you wrongly set up the environment, if you wrongly set up the layout of the class, that will contribute to negative behavior. So be careful. Do not overlook. Jangan pandang kecil. Susun atur environment penting for early childhood. That's why kalau kita tengok preschool, normally they call it playground, kindergarten. Okay, kindergarten ni mestilah cantik, harmoni, indah, menarik. Okay, rasa tenang. So that's why they call it kindergarten. They don't call it as a school. That it should be colorful, it should be nice, it should be beautiful, it should be excitement while we looking at the situation. Tengok pun dah rasa teruja. Tengok sekolah tadika dah rasa seronok, dah rasa nak masuk. Jadi suasana sangat penting. Rupa paras prasekolah tu haruslah tempting for the children to learn, which is save them from behaving in a negative behavior. Okay, so hari ini kita discuss already on another 3 factors which affect children's behavior, which is number 3 is socio-emotional development, the support of social. Support of social ni apa? Dari segi emosi, mesti ada sokongan. Emosi yang positif yang diterima oleh children will lead to a positive behavior in the classroom later on. And point number 4, children's cognitive and language development, kemampuan kebolehan kanak-kanak untuk berfikir dengan betul dan kemampuan kanak-kanak untuk mengekspreskan language, feelings dengan betul will lead children to behave in a positive manner. Kanak-kanak yang tak mampu ekspreskan perasaan mereka ataupun cara pemikiran mereka yang salah akan menyumbang kepada misbehavior. And the last point we discuss, surroundings, environment, layout, setting, ataupun kita panggil ID hari ini kan, interior design ataupun design dalaman will cause children's happiness, children's good emotion, positive emotion, and positive emotion will lead to positive behavior. Right? So that's all for our class today. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.